Early on, when QHS was first forming, Darlene grasped the fact that the tests she was performing validate the QT wave is working, miraculously for some and subtly for most. The benefits, though, couldn't hide from the member reports and graphs. She knew that her graphs and reports would show the story of healing and set out to visibly prove the quantum twine wave effect works. For those tested showing no benefit, this was a motivation to discover why. We are not diagnosing, treating, or prescribing from a medical standpoint. This is for educational purposes only. Hey everyone, welcome to BioScan with Darlene, and we're so excited to have Rosalyn and Alan, as well as Roseanne, be our guests today. And I'm going to go ahead and begin by sharing a quick little intro. Early on, when QHS was first forming, Darlene grasped the fact that the tests she was performing validate the QT wave is working, miraculously for some and subtly for most. The benefits, though, couldn't hide from the member reports and graphs. She knew that her graphs and reports would show the story of healing and set out to visibly prove the quantum twine wave effect works. For those tested showing no benefit, this was a motivation to discover why. We are not diagnosing, treating, or prescribing from a medical standpoint. This is for educational purposes only. I love that video. I love it so much because it just shows that even though we don't feel things in our body, that doesn't mean they're not happening. And like even disease, how it can sneak up on you, right? Like you don't even realize, and then all of a sudden, boom, it hits you. So it's really great to see that these subtle changes that we're all experiencing will lead to gigantic changes later. One of my kids asked me, well, what have you noticed with the device? And I said, well, I don't have the heart rate problem anymore, where I was getting irregular heartbeat. Haven't had that since I got my device. And another thing I forgot about, which is what happens, right? We forget, I don't need to wear reading glasses anymore. So hallelujah. Anyways, it's not my show. It is Darlene. So go ahead, Darlene, say hello and welcome your guests.
Okay. Hi, everyone, and thank you for being here. And I'm going to introduce Rosalyn and Alan. They're from London, the UK, and we spoke yesterday for the first time, but they were one of the first ones to get all their three recordings, their reports in. So I'm going to share my screen here, and let's see here. So I'm going to show Rosalyn's report first. So here, this is the graph, and this was featured in the newsletter this week. And what we're seeing here is, this is her historic chart. They both started wearing the QT Wave device around September of last year. And when we look at these reports, we want to determine where the inflammation is and what organ is disturbing, their immune system, or where they're really, where they need to address their nutritional needs. So with Rosalyn, most of her numbers were in the fourth phase. Now, as we got to the second report, which was about 4 months later, we're probably, what I'm doing is I'm testing people a good 2 to 3 months in between. Well, as you can see, some of her numbers did move. Her nervous system, her respiratory, a lot of those moved into the more balanced phase. But still, there's inflammation, there's still stress. So when I was talking to them, and here she is, this was this was in March, okay? So we're kind of, ahead of the game here. Look at how her inflammation decreased. So when I was talking to her yesterday, I said, Rosalyn, what was it you did that caused the inflammation to decrease? Do you want to talk about that, Rosalyn? in between these reports? Oh, you're unmute. Let's see. Yeah, unmute yourself. Thank you.
Yeah. The two of us started taking prebiotics and probiotics. That was your recommendation to do that. So we took kefir in the morning, first thing before we took anything else. We took kefir, which I don't know if you guys are familiar with. It's a prebiotic, a probiotic drink. And into that, I put in flaxseed and inulin, which you recommended, Darlene, and mixed it all up. And we took that every day in the morning before we took anything else. I can only assume that's what did the trick. And I did start using 2 devices around about January, February.
Mm-hmm.
And I have 2 devices on me 24 hours.
So
I don't know
that she was addressing her digestive health as well as, wearing the devices and what we're seeing here, the frequencies are counteracting stress. And that's what I'm measuring. I'm measuring the stress of the organs and the inflammation. So that's what this is all determining here, and how somebody changes their lifestyle like she did, and the probiotic that you were using was more of a cultured, right? It wasn't a capsule. Yeah, and she mixes and she takes that and she makes it, she puts fiber in there. So both her and her husband, as you can see, when I show Alan's, a lot of times, I see husbands and wives, their readings show pretty much the same because they're living in the same home, they're eating the same food. So these are validating that there is progress, and that's kind of what we want to see here. Now, on a note, I like 1 to 10, how is your energy now? I mean, even though this was in March, how are you feeling now? Here it is, July.
Pretty good, actually. I've actually got a lot of work to do. We're in the National Forest at the moment, and we've both got a lot of work to do. So yes, plenty of energy to get on with the work.
Okay. So, there is another report I like to show. So these reports are a little bit more in depth. So when a lot of people are getting both these reports, when we email after I've tested them. And so as you can see from the time here she was in the end of September, you see a lot of weakened phases. That's where the organs, the degeneration of the tissue is happening. So when she moved from balance to inflammation, your yellow is stress. That's showing still those organs are inflamed and there's still nutritional needs that need to be required. But as you can see, she has improved considerably here, and a lot. And then these are more in detail. So when we get these reports, basically this report, the Q chart, shows, okay, look at what is causing your allergies. Look at, your endocrine system, your energy, your sleeping. This is a pituitary, your pineal. So most of her right and left meridian points are showing those were inflamed. So has your sleep improved, would you say?
My sleep, yeah, I can get some really, really deep sleeps now. And I think I said last night, it's so deep that I'm in the same position I fell asleep in the morning. When I wake up in the morning, I haven't moved. It's been so deep.
So when we're sleeping, we're repairing our cells. We're recharging our body. So I know what these frequencies are doing now. I mean, because sleep is the #1 causes of death. And if you're in sleep deprivation over time, you can't make up your sleep. Well, we're making it up. I know, because I'm sleeping 10 times better. So then her heart, and then the circulation and the liver. So when she addressed the digestive health, all those numbers, she's pretty much still showing inflammation, but things are getting better. But what this report shows, this shows you what you need to address on. The other chart didn't show all this inflammation, but this we have a way of, it's based on the etheric realm. It's almost like the crystal ball. So when you pick up on this energy, it can tell you things, even in the future what's happening. And that's why we use these reports. They're mainly, you know, to be used as a preventative care. And that's what's important. You want to prevent things before they get worse. So here's Alan's report. Let's see here. Alan. So here's his progress report. And as you can see here, you know, he started, and his inflammation was pretty much all in the 4th phase as well. And then as we got to, okay, so we're looking, mainly I look for the digestive, the liver, and the immune system, and the skin. So as the second report, okay, so a lot of his numbers moved over into balance. So, you know, his urogenital, his blood, the lymphatic drainage, the metabolism, all that moved over, his cardio. But as you can see, his nervous system, I'm sorry, I'm toggling here. Okay, there we go. But you can see his skin. So a lot of times as the body is removing toxins, the skin will stay inflamed. But you did say, Alan, you had some skin issues occur. Is that correct?
Yes. For the past week, well, about 6 months or so, I've had burning skin, but only and mostly on my face and in the hand and let's say scalp.
Okay. And then your joints, are you having any kind of joint issues? I mean, now this was back at the end of January. This was back in January. So have you been battling anything like arthritis or anything like that?
No, nothing at all.
So this was in the fibroid tissues. So something, you know, something was clearing there. And then we get into his last chart, which is August. So as you can see, a lot of things moved out of the red, which is good. When we jump from one phase to another, that's progress. So that's showing that the inflammation is decreasing. Now he still has skin issues. He still is, you know, those things are happening still. But in the meantime, you know, what we're looking at is seeing that everybody's organs are moving into the 1st and 2nd phase. And that's what's really important. And when I go to his deeper reading here, and this is more in detail, it's showing that the one area to really look at is his skin and the fatty tissues. So, you know, those are things I just show people, and they have a roadmap and they see where their issues lie. And that's what this is doing for everybody that's wearing the device, so they can help the device work more efficiently. And it's not just gut health, it's physical, it's chemical, it's, you know, it's a lot of things that pertain to why our bodies break down and why our organs are inflamed. But right here, it is basically saying, look at your skin, your nervous system, you know, addressing things that can calm you down, and then the kidney, and then also, you know, when we talk about the teeth, and it's saying, you know, basically, well, that was all in the green there. So everything is being addressed there. And then here, you know, he had a little bit more, you know, it's just showing that the weakened areas are the allergies, the nervous system, the circulation, and the fatty tissues. So overall, Alan, how are you feeling today?
To be honest with you, I'm feeling brand new. I'm feeling even the skin is a bit my biggest problem, and that's what I need to work on that somehow. Positive thinking.
So we talked about that, you know, the essential fatty acids, and also you've had some heart issues, correct? Some kind of inflammation.
I had back in 9 years ago, I had a stroke, and I was for 3 months No, I couldn't speak it at all in any form. And gradually, after 3 months, my speech became better and better.
Good. That's great news. Yeah. And then it showed also your endocrine system. So that pertains to your heart as well. So it's still inflamed, but overall, are you considering getting the V9? Are you guys both considering that?
Well, at some point, and yeah, once we get all this work out of the way, because we'll get joiners and plumbers and electricians and carpet fitters.
Well,
Yeah,
when
yeah.
you do, I want to see another sample because this is really, we're going to really see some more progress here. So it'll be good for you guys. You can go ahead and send me another sample if you decide to, donate for that. Okay. All right. So now I'm going to bring up Roseanne. Roseanne, is your face available?
Can you hear me?
I can hear you, but we
Yeah,
can't see
something's
you.
wrong with the camera. I can't
Oh, okay.
get it going.
The reason I wanted to bring Roseanne's report up because this is what's happening a lot here. We're the first chart shows this is her base. This is before she started wearing the white device. And there were some issues. Her skin was showing in the weakened phase. And can you tell me if anything was going on then before you started wearing the white device?
Well, I have a sugar addiction problem, and I went on Gundry's protocol. So, and I've had a lot of stress. So lots of things happening at the same time.
But your pancreas was showing no numbers. So are you on anything masking that? Are you doing anything for your sugar?
Well, I've stopped the sugar. The only sugar I'm eating right now are berries and an occasional orange. But the sugar I'm talking about is, Haagen-Dazs sugar. That's the
ice cream sugar
that I have.
Yeah. But as you can see here, this was her second report. This was after she was wearing it for almost 6 months. And so what we're seeing here, and I'm going to show the homotoxicology chart and how this really determines, but a lot of times our tissues will hold in the toxins. And this is what the quantum healing, the quantum device that I use measures the inflammation of those organs. So she was probably just filtering here, but a lot of things were, they look like they're in the danger phase. And I know when we talked, she was kind of concerned, but I said, let's wait till the third report, because a lot of times the third report will show more. So as people are wearing the device, a lot of people aren't feeling it, or they feel worse and they don't think it's working. But that's why we're showing these reports, to show progress. Just keep doing 80% good in your body to make all these numbers disappear here. And basically we're helping with nutritional deficiencies. When I talk to people, that's basically what my expertise is in. But then as you can see, here she is in May. And how are you feeling now, Roseanne?
I'm feeling much better. And our last discussion, I'm going to get the green energy drink because I'm taking a lot of nutraceuticals. I've been taking Dr. Zelenko's COVID protocol since 2020. And I haven't had a cold, a cough, a flu since that. So
did you just start taking your nutrients like after this report here? Did you get on a nutraceutical
his protocol I started in 2020, but then I added other ones as we went. And I've got 15 pills a day that I don't like. So I like the idea that you were saying to get the green drink, and then I could put some powders in there instead of having to take so many capsules.
So how long were you doing that? So in between this report?
Well, I haven't gotten the green drink yet. I'm gonna
Okay,
order
so
that from
prior to
Sunshine.
this report, you've just been on the same protocol since?
Yes, yeah.
2020.
And I have a homeopathic doctor, so I'm taking um
So,
stuff from her as well.
so what I'm seeing here, and when I get these kind of reports and they really haven't done anything really different with their lifestyle, it's telling me that she was taking these nutrients, but they weren't absorbing. And then staying on the nutrients after time and wearing the device, this is showing more absorption. So she's getting more value out of her nutrients now. So,
And also I found that I was drinking a lot of water, but I wasn't hydrating. So I was following Dr. Barbara O'Neill, and she suggested putting Celtic salt on the tip of the tongue before I drink the water. So I'm hydrating better than I was before also.
and that's a good thing to point out, because these the frequency devices need, well, your fulvic acid, your electrolytes to charge.
And I'm taking Shilajit, which has fulvic acid in it, etc.
Okay.
So some of these nutraceuticals are very powerful.
So we're going to
Can
go.
I ask a question? Roseanne, when did you go off sugar?
I've been off and on for the last couple of years, but I'm completely off now, and I've been off completely for the last couple of months.
See, I think that's huge. And I think that's
Yes.
also giving you great benefits, because sugar messes up our body in so many ways.
Well, I've been off and on sugar for a long time, and I've had some serious situations with it. I broke out with eczema all over my arms and my face at one point, and I had to go on a very strict diet of only vegetables, greens, no anything, no dairy, no blah blah blah, for over a year. And of course I lost 40 pounds from doing that. Sugar is pretty harmful. Yes.
Yes, it causes inflammation for sure. So as I can see here, her progress, from this report from the end of January to now to May is considerably a great, yeah, she's improved considerably. So have you felt the device? I mean, when people say they don't feel it, have you felt anything different energy wise? Are you challenging your body more?
No, not from no, I haven't felt anything from the device. Actually, my energy it needs to be higher. I get tired. I do a lot of physical labor work in my yards and stuff like that, and I don't have the energy that I used to have. And I think I'm not having it because I'm not exercising enough. And that's another problem with me. I
And I've asked her
procrastinate.
to get out and challenge your body, see what your body can do.
Yes.
Give it a test. And also, addressing more of your gut health would help, because that would help get your energy. Your body's, still breaking down food and having trouble with digestion when your readings in the 4th phase here, and also your lymphatics. So sweating, getting out there, sweating and breathing. And then your immune
I also bought a vibration plate, so I'm working with the lymphatics with that. And I bought a cycle, a little one of those cycles for underneath the desk kind of cycles to get me motivated.
Okay.
because I somehow, something is keeping me from doing the exercises that I used to do. I'm procrastinating a lot, which is not good for me.
So this is the more detailed part. So, right now, she's still battling allergies. So that can cause your energy level to be low as well. Your connective tissues, your joints, and your large intestine. So yeah, when you address your large intestine, that 80% of your numbers will go into the balance and you'll have more energy because that's, 70% of our immune system there. And your lymphatics, they're still, yeah, they're still kind of in the weakened phase. But overall, most of her weakened phases, there's less weakened. And then we're talking about, yeah, her kidneys, she's flushing. So here, when it comes down to what's important, what do we need to work on here? So, a lot of people are fighting allergies right now. What causes the allergies? What is determining, what are you allergic to? And a lot of times it's your gut health. So look at here, the large intestine. So just addressing your gut health and doing probiotics and fiber and essential fatty acids, just the essentials. We're not talking about a lot of nutrients. I'm finding that people are taking too many nutrients and they're not getting to the point of the problem. And then we've got your limp in your ear. What about your teeth? Are you having any issues with your?
Well, I've got I've got 2 implants, and I've got 3 teeth missing in the back, and I've got also root canals. So I've got a mess in that respect. Unfortunately, I have not been able to find a doctor, a dentist that doesn't believe in all this garbage. But what are you going to do?
So when I see the readings in the weakened phase with the ear and the upper lower jaw, that tells me, well, maybe all you have to do is really floss and kill bacteria that's going on in your mouth.
Well, what I'm doing now is, well, I've been doing several different things. I'm washing my mouth, rinsing my mouth out with cell salt. I floss and I do all that. The plaque is lower than it was. So, and I'm taking, it's called Lactobacillus salivarius
Okay.
for the gums and for the teeth.
Probiotics and prebiotics.
So and Dr. Leonard Horowitz has a concoction. He used to be a dentist and he created a concoction with the frequency of 528 hertz and monatomic gold and other things in his concoction. So I've been swishing my mouth out with that.
How long have you been doing that?
About a month.
Oh, okay. So you just started. Okay.
Yeah.
All right. Well, yeah, when you address the oral hygiene, a lot of times, we could carry bacteria in our mouths, and also it affects the gut because when we swallow and we eat, it constantly it's going through the esophagus into the digestive system.
And I think also your teeth are actually each tooth has to do with a certain organ in the body as well. So I've lost certain teeth, and that I don't know what teeth those associate with what organs.
Well, a lot of times, yeah, if those teeth are gone and they were causing you a problem, and it's better not to have them.
Yeah, I guess.
Yeah, if you don't have any amalgams or any kind of material that's affecting that gum tissue.
Well, one day when we get the med beds, we can grow our teeth back.
That'll be exciting. Yeah, everything's going to be,
including my gallbladder. I don't have a gallbladder either.
So right now, I would just advise that she, well, basically your large intestine, and then stay with the oral hygiene that you're doing.
Okay.
And that should address a lot of things. And when we test again, and then are you getting the V9 by any chance?
Not yet, no.
Okay, so when you do, since we've done these 3 tests, I'll be glad to test and see how you've improved with the V9. We should
That would
see
be
some.
great. Thank you.
Yeah, thank you. Thank you for coming and being a part of this venture here. I'm enjoying this. And it's good to see that everybody's improving, and it's not everybody progresses as fast, but we are seeing improvement. And just understanding that the frequency devices are addressing the issues that need to be brought out. And that's what my tests show, that it's quantum physics. So if there are any questions, I'll be glad to answer them.
Yeah, first, I just want to thank Roseanne and also Rosalyn and Alan for coming on and, bearing all to the members.
Thank you.
If
Yeah.
anybody has questions for Roseanne, Rosalyn, Alan, or Darlene, okay, so Jude.
Are they in the white device testing or the home device testing?
The white device.
Okay. So
yeah, it was around the fall of last year.
Okay, because I'm going to be in the home device, which I haven't got yet. And the first test I sent was before I had anything. So now I've got 2 white devices. So we don't have to do anything till we've had it 2 months.
Correct.
Yeah, okay, that's great.
So we can see if there's any progress. Okay.
When heart muscle comes up, which I saw on some of them, what does that actually mean? Or what does it associate with?
What was the question again? I couldn't.
Heart muscle? When it shows the heart muscle?
Oh, it's where it's in the weakened phase. Yeah, that's just showing it's inflamed. So the heart can pertain to the thyroid, the endocrine system. It could pertain to the lungs. So a lot of the meridian points link to different organs.
Okay.
Of the circulatory. So a lot of times, when people are just doing, just start taking more essential fatty acids, and that really helps with the heart. Fish oil, cold press oils is what I highly recommend. And also it could pertain to, looking at your cholesterol and your blood pressure. So, it's kind of gearing to all those areas that are pertain to the heart.
Okay, thank you.
Let me share with you something that, Jude, so when before I came to QHS, I was getting irregular heartbeat. And it maybe happened 3 times a week. But since I got my black device, and it had been going on for at least probably 9 months, and I'm very active and very fit, and it just would happen. I could be sitting out by the pool or anywhere. It just would happen randomly. And I haven't had any issues, maybe one last summer, but my heart has been so much good. And my device, I have this ring that, tracks everything. And it says that my heart is 7 years younger than my physical age. So
Congratulations.
well, thank you. But my diet, my nutrition, everything is pretty much the same. The only thing that's changed is the device.
And that's what the frequencies are doing. They're feeding you in your body of water. It's calming down your body of water so you can deal with stress. And that's the first thing. Yeah, the heart palpitations.
Yeah, the adrenals.
And the adrenals, yeah, that fight or flight. Because our adrenals produce 50 different hormones. So
I didn't know that.
A lot of times I address, antioxidants and that seems to really help, these antioxidant drinks that are a high source of vitamin C, and it supports the adrenals.
Cool. Well, I just want to let her know with heart that, and if you guys ever want to search the YouTube channel, you can search the exact channel with a keyword and you can find videos with other members saying how things have improved. So if you just search up heart, you'll see all the videos that contain anything to do with the heart. So, oh, and Magda, this is an Aura ring. I've had it for 4 years, but it tracks all kinds of amazing data. You know, your steps, your calories, your oxygen saturation, resting heart rate, working out heart rate. It tracks a lot of stuff.
Excuse me, does that ring have radiation coming through from it?
Radiation?
Yeah,
Mm.
you
I don't
know,
know.
like
Not-
your earbuds and all those things. There's a lot of radiation coming from them.
You know what? Not that I know of, but I don't wear earbuds. So this has a pulsometer in it, like a light. So,
Okay.
but that's a good thing I can check. Yeah, Dawn, it's an Aura ring.
Like a Fitbit. It's like a Fitbit. It's magnetic.
Okay, who's next? I saw another hand up. Corinne.
It just
Can you guys hear me?
Yep.
Oh,
Mhm.
goody. Okay. Thank, thank you, Tracy and Darlene, first off, for this. These are awesome, and all of y'all are beautiful beings sharing this because it's very inspiring. And Raj, you shared last time. Thank you so much. So a question for Rosalyn or Al, it might be for both, well, probably both you guys. What was the prebiotic and that you utilized again? I know these are so important. Donnie and I are taking I believe it's a probiotic, Darlene, that it was just an 11 elevated by Nature Sunshine. And then we add the mushroom powder to it and our chaga, right, to disperse that when you did that beautiful mushroom presentation, Darlene. So I'm just wondering, apologies, going back to this beautiful couple, Rosalyn and Alan, what do you guys do again? I apologize. I didn't hear it. You kind of cut out on me. We're driving. So, yeah.
It's simply, it's a yogurt drink and a yogurt that you can buy in the supermarket. At least over here you can buy it. And it's, I think somebody said lactobacillus. It's lots of friendly bacteria. And it's just a drink. It's a kefir. It's called kefir over here. It's KEFIR. And it's a
Kefir.
kefir.
Mhm.
Kefir. We actually got kefir. So it's just a yogurt drink and a thick yogurt. And what I do is I pour some of the yogurt drink into a bowl and I put some yogurt on top of it. And then I put the flaxseed and the inulin powder. And I think I put psyllium husk. I think I've done that. Psyllium husk in it. Mix it all up. Give it to him. He just eats what I give him. And yeah. And
As long as you,
quite,
you make it.
it's quite nice. Quite nice.
And I asked her if make sure it didn't have any sugar in it, because any
Well, there's
yogurt sugar,
absolutely
it just kills
no
the
sugar.
cultures. Mhm.
No sugar.
Do you
And it's lovely.
take that on an empty stomach?
Yeah, first thing.
Ah, okay. And then is that on top of the 11 elevated, the probiotic guys? What do you feel into this?
Oh, she's not taking the pill form.
Ah.
You're just doing that. Yeah.
What I do is I make a lot of sauerkraut and fermented onions and cauliflower, that kind of thing. Keep it in the fridge. It comes out for salads and whatever.
Nice. Oh, thank you so much. Thanks, guys.
Okay.
Thanks, Corinne. Okay, go ahead, Dawn.
Hi there, guys. So I started taking some standard process items from one of my docs, And I noticed a big difference in terms of just, I had hives all over my body. I was getting acne on my face, which I don't get like whiteheads like that. And this went on for about 2.5 months. And I suspect that my body was just detoxing. You know, it was all coming out through the skin. Does that sound right, Darlene?
Yes, yes.
That's kind of what I think was happening.
I've had that issue as well,
Mm.
and yeah, and we're always detoxing, but did it start just when you started taking the standard process?
About
Okay.
maybe a week and a half or 2 weeks after I had started them. So
So-
not initially, but I suspect that it had something to do with that because I don't normally take, I was taking a really good high quality stuff and lots of greens and cleanses. Um, so I heard you say, Darlene, I think it was on a call a few weeks ago that like if you had just started getting the home healing system, that would be a good time to check in with you, but doing future tests. And I didn't know if you were still offering that to folks or.
Well, right now I've completed the amount of people that I have, but I'd be glad to test you later on, with the V9. We could do that.
I
But right now,
appreciate
but
that.
you're getting the home healing as well?
I am.
Okay. Yeah, because I'm going to be doing another survey with the V9.
Okay. I've
That-
had the HHS about 3 weeks now and it's going good, but go ahead. I didn't mean to interrupt you.
Oh, that's good. Well, a lot of your standard process products too, when you do get a reading, I can pick up what you need. I have a database that, according to your readings, it'll bring up those products. So
Oh,
we can always
awesome.
perfect that as well. I
Thank
mean,
you.
I don't retail those, I don't sell, and I just, there's certain nutrients I have in my database that link to it, like metagenics. I'll send people reports on that. So we could gear it to that.
Okay.
But a lot of times when you start taking nutrients and things, yeah, it's bringing things out and your skin's going to show it. It's going to be the first thing to let you know it's working. But now you're clearing, your skin's clearing.
Oh yeah, it's been clear for maybe about 2 weeks or so. But I mean, it was really blatant, like just little whiteheads, which I've never had in my life. I mean, just everywhere. And then what I
We're
did
getting
have,
younger, by the way. We're getting younger.
we're getting younger. But I had like these little red dots. They started on my abdomen down here. It went up, it was all over my chest, all over my arms, back of my neck, my face. I mean, it was something, and it just continued to spread. And I thought, well, when is enough is enough? But finally, it just.
See, Alan was having skin issues. You had some eruption as well. And I'm having skin issues now. So yeah, this will be interesting to see how, our skin is our largest organ. So everything's coming to surface. And I've got a skin issue I've never had in my life. So it's vitiligo. So I'm going to be testing the V9 and see how it works on that, because when I've done my research for vitiligo, it's an autoimmune disease. Well, I'm not testing as though I'm because when you're in the third phase to the sixth, that's autoimmune. I'm pretty much balanced. So why am I having these issues? So, I think things are just coming out of our skin because it's what's been in our bodies for a long time. It's not an overnight success here. So, when we look at gut health and we look at, every day what we're putting in our bodies and eating, and then also our environment where we live. Now, I am in the sun more. So is the sun causing my issues? So is it environmental? I think it's more environmental. That's because I was an outdoor person. I biked, I ran. Why am I having this skin issue? So here we go.
No, I think that's a good point. Everyone should test their home for mold. I did a test a few months ago and I had like 3 bathrooms that came up with mold. Wait, 1, yeah, 3. And then I bought this ozone machine, and Jenna, who lives down in San Diego, she told me about it. And I ran that a few times in each one of the bathrooms. And then I retested. Now, one bathroom doesn't have a shower. So I thought, well, that one's not going to be a problem. So I never tested it the first time. And anyway, so then the next test kit, I had an extra like little dish to test. And so what I did was I tested the powder room that doesn't have the shower. All of the other bathrooms were clear, but the bathroom that I didn't test the first time, so I never ran the ozonator in there, that one tested positive. So I ran it in there, and then I'll run it again. But what I'm going to do is, because, you know, we shower daily, at least I hope you do. And so we need to be careful of what is in our bathrooms. Where did you find your ozonator? Actually, because I live in California, you know, here's a crazy thing for you guys. Do you know how many healthy products cannot be shipped to California? New York too. I tried to send my son a Berkey water thing, and they won't ship them to New York. And the ozonator could not be shipped to California. So I had to jerry rig it, and I found it on eBay. And I'll, you know, you guys, I'll do a write-up and I'll put it on the chat, and I'll share the story so you can read it on Telegram, and I'll tell you like where I got the ozonator and the brand and what type of mold test and everything. So if you feel inclined to do the same at your home, then you can do it. But to Darlene's point, you know, you really have to stay in a healthy environment and keep it as healthy as possible. So
There's about 4 remote testing I'm doing, and they send me the saliva of their, you know, they're on a Q-tip. And these 4 samples came in, their saliva was showing black. So when I talk to these people, they all have mold in their home.
yeah.
So yes,
I think you need to get out ahead of it and test and treat before you find out. Because usually when you find out, it's too late and it's, you know, long gone. And Gloria and I did a whole presentation on mold, but that's what inspired me to do the testing in my home, because I want to keep this house forever. I love it here. Okay, we're wrapping up, but we have a few more questions. So go ahead, Del.
Yeah, the question is for Roseanne. She mentioned several times a green drink. Is there a recommended green drink that comes from Darlene? I heard green drink a lot.
Yeah, it's called Power Greens, and it has all your vegetables in it from Nature Sunshine. So I recommend Nature Sunshine because it's good quality nutrients and their sources. And I see very good results with the nutrients. They absorb, and people are getting benefits from it. But and also they have other sources like your beet, your concentrated beet juice and all that. So there's times where we just can't eat a lot of vegetables, and this gives you a lot to feed into the gut wall as well, because you want to nourish your stomach wall.
Sounds like you was using it too for, like, I'm in my 80s, so I have a hard time taking some of these pills. It sounded like she was dumping them into the green drink. Maybe that's a good idea.
Yes, I try to do a liquid cocktail every morning where most of my nutrients are in a liquid form.
Ooh.
Because yeah, you know, a lot of times when you swallow pills, you know, if you got that esophagus issue, inflammation, you know, I can eat a piece of bread and my throat will swell up. So, you know, I react to gluten very easily, but with the nutrient drinks and a fiber, and a lot of times that Power Greens has fiber in it. It has your guar gum, your psyllium. So you're getting a prebiotic along with it. That's a prebiotic. And you take your probiotic upon awakening. So you're putting good bugs into your system, your good flora, and then you're doing the prebiotic. And what the prebiotic does, it puts basically it puts a protective lining in your colon and also your intestinal wall, so your nutrients will sustain. There'll be a time release, and then it'll go through the bloodstream, and then you'll get more absorption that way. And then by wearing the device, I'm seeing that, people are absorbing what they're taking, just like the case with, Roseanne. Roseanne was showing more absorption with her numbers.
That's great. Yeah, wonderful device. I've been getting incredible results from this since April. Tracy, she mentioned irregular heartbeat. I had irregular heartbeat. Now I can prove that I have sinus rhythm, normal sinus rhythm. My skin is unbelievable. It's gotten like I got baby skin now.
Oh,
and my sleep numbers are unbelievable. I've got a Apple Watch app that measures my sleep exactly, and it gives a number. I'm getting 100. And so I'm
Wow.
sleeping like a baby, getting 9 hours of sleep, and then the app will put it into a sleep bank. So I can't say enough about this product. It's changed my life. I mean, it's unbelievable. I've got more energy. I've got more physical energy. I've got more mental energy. I can get more done, focus, everything. So this is a godsend for me. At my age, it's a definite godsend, because I was heading the other way, and people are saying you're a different person. So anyway.
Bravo. Good for you, Del. I think it's time for you to schedule an interview with me.
Yeah.
Yeah, my mother's 87, and she's doing things that she's never done. Are you single? She be my mother.
Oh, I'm married.
Okay.
And, I can tell you something else. We're both in our 80s. We take no pharmaceuticals. We are basically have been for a long time. I would say 90% vegans. And the reason was we saw a lot of our friends in our 50s starting to pass away, did a lot of research, and it said, go on a vegan diet, and raw vegan. We tend toward raw vegan. And then I read a book called the Magnesium Miracle, and I started taking magnesium, and that really helped my heart. So, but anyway, yeah, this company. Oh, I'm a student of Nikola Tesla, and frequencies and vibrations, and this thing just matches up with it. It's like, whoa, we've got it now. We've got it we've got this stuff ahead of the med beds. This is a miniature med bed. That's what I think it is. That's what I think.
That's what it's doing. It's preparing us for the med bed, so it won't be so difficult for us to.
Yeah, I gotta give compliments to Alex Collier, because if I hadn't been listening to him, I would never be here. He was the one that got me here, and he's wonderful too.
Yeah.
He's changed my perspective on everything. So anyway, this is a great group. Thank you, everyone, for all your comments. I appreciate it.
For coming.
Thank you so much, Del. I look forward to chatting with you face to face soon. So if you hopefully you have my link to schedule with me.
Yeah.
But if not, send me an email and then I'll forward it to you.
Okay, very good. Thank you.
Okay, thank you. Jennifer.
Hi, can you ask a question on here if you haven't had a BioScan?
Yeah, of course.
Okay. I'm using one white device. I got it on 23rd of May, and about like the 8th of June, I got this bladder infection, and I haven't had a bladder infection for years. And I was just wondering if I might use a little too much soap, because I do that sometimes. A little personal there, but or could the device have caused that?
Well, you could be
of-
devitalizing fungus and mold, candida, and it could be bringing it out. And
Okay.
that is probably the case. So I would look
Mhm.
at what you could do for that. Now, look at your tongue. Dr. Gloria did a whole thing on candida and the spit test, you know, and kind of determine if that is your pathogen that's causing your issue right now.
Okay.
But yeah, we see that a lot. We see a lot of issues, you know, I mean, it starts manifesting and coming out and making us aware of what our problems are. And that's what these tests are showing. So any type of inflammation that's showing in the digestive tract, the large intestine, the small intestine, yeah, it's addressing pathogens
Okay.
or vectors.
How,
Yeah, what Dr. A calls vectors. So, you know, what he's pointed out a couple of weeks ago, and especially the way the V9 will work, is that the frequencies are perfected cells, they're proprietary frequencies. And when you receive these frequencies, it's going to push out what is causing that frequency to not be in that perfect state. So a lot of times if there's fungus or mold or candida, it's going to say, here it is. So these are things that say, yes, it is working. It is working. Because he was saying, you know, a lot of people are saying they don't feel it. Well, they're going to feel it with the V9. And it may not be what we like, you know, we might have to go through some barriers there, but it's going to be well worth it. And that way, then it stays, then it's gone. Then it's completely gone. As though, you know, we're going to be keep giving our bodies these frequencies that are going to keep it in that state.
Better
and
out
that
than in.
Mhm.
can you refresh my memory on that, how to do that spit test? I heard Dr. Gloria say that, but I didn't write it down.
There's videos you can pick up on. I've seen them on YouTube, but basically,
Okay.
the minute you wake up in the morning, you use alkaline water. I wouldn't use tap water. What would you use? I mean,
Well,
what?
she says distilled, but I just use filtered water. So
Yeah,
whatever filtered water you drink, before you drink any water, before you brush your teeth or anything, you gather saliva in your mouth, and it takes time. Okay, because you're dry, right? You've been sleeping. So just be patient. When you get a good amount of saliva, you spit it into a water glass, and then you observe if it falls or if it floats and if it gets these legs. But if you watch the WOW replay for Candida, so go to the YouTube channel and search the channel for Candida, you'll see the pictures of what she posted.
Okay.
It was episode 2. No,
Okay.
lymph was episode 2. It was probably episode 4 or something. Just go search Candida and you'll see it.
Okay. And then so I eat a lot of fruit. I like watermelon and papaya and apples, an apple and an orange every day, and I cannot lose weight. Is that why I can't lose weight, do you think? Because I'm eating too much fruit?
I'm
I
gonna
used
say
to weigh,
yes. Darlene might say something differently.
Well, I mean, fruit wouldn't be the only problem. It is a sugar, but you know, you need the antioxidants that you get from fruit.
yeah,
But
yeah.
I would just look at the starches, you know, that contribute to mold and fungus.
So let me tell you what fruit does though. Okay, so fruit feeds candida. All right, so if you have a candida issue, it does feed it. And then the other thing is fruit makes you hungrier because it elevates your blood sugar, which it does, even though there's fiber, even though it's not as bad as like eating candy or bread or something, but it still does spike your blood sugar. And when that comes down, depending on your insulin sensitivity, it could make you hungrier, which would make you eat more. So in my opinion, you want to keep your blood sugar stabilized, which keeps your hunger stabilized throughout the day. And so I do think an individual can eat too much fruit.
Okay.
So just, you got to be aware of it, you know?
Okay.
So
And one more question. Where do you get that green drink?
Nature Sunshine. Nature Sunshine. I have a fridge report I can send you if you like. And it's pretty much a breakdown of morning, noon, and night. And it just tells you about the essentials. And what I like about Nature Sunshine is you can go and you use the search engine for any, well, let's say you put liver, it'll bring up all their liver products. But they're high quality. And you're not getting the stem and dirt. You're getting actual vegetables and fruit. You're getting the antioxidants that you need. And a lot of times I don't, when I take those drinks, the power greens, I don't eat fruit. I mean, because I don't crave it. It supplements my intake of my fruit intake. And then
And you get it.
Go ahead.
You said
So-
you get it from Nature Sunshine?
Jennifer, all you need to do is email Darlene. Everybody can email Darlene, bioscan@qtwe.net, and ask her for her fridge report, and she will forward it, and it will have the information about the Nature Sunshine. Right, Dar?
Correct. Yes.
Cool.
That's the
But
great
at
way to-
BioScan at QTE,
QTWE.net.
QTWE.net. Okay. .net. Okay. I'll
Okay,
do that.
cool.
Thank you very
Thank
much.
you. Thank you. Okay, last question. We have Jude.
Just Darling, what you were saying about the your skin condition, it's the white patches, isn't it? On your
Yes.
skin. Yeah.
It's where your skin loses melanin.
That happened to me last summer, exactly the same thing. And I started noticing it in other people I knew that had never happened before. They also had like little white patches on their arms. So I'm wondering if they dropped something on us last year.
Oh, yeah.
Because I've never had it either, and it's come up on mine. So I find that very interesting.
Yeah.
It could be fungus too. I have seen those white fungus patches on people's skin. Have you heard that, Darlene?
No, I've done some research. It's within. It's
inside autoimmune.
Mhm.
Okay.
Mm.
Well, you guys, it's like I feel like all this vectors is coming out, better out than in, worse before better, but we know what the end goal is, and that we're all going to age backwards and feel amazing.
Yeah, I
So
love that.
that's a wrap. Thank you so much, Darlene. Thank you so much, Roseanne. And
Roseanne.
thank you, Rosalind and
Alan
Alan.
and
So
Rosalind.
appreciate you guys. And thank you all the members who attended, and taking yourself seriously, loving yourself to health is so, so important, because we have work to do and we are getting ready to be ready. So have a beautiful day, everyone.
Thank you for having this,
Bye.
Darlene and Tracy.
Thank
Thank you very
you. We
much.
appreciate you.
Being
Thanks,
here.
you
Thank you.
guys. See you next week or 2 weeks. Have a beautiful day.
Blessings.
Blessings back. Bye for now.